Hello, beautiful humans. My name is Julia. Welcome to the Julia Show. Just kidding. This show is really more about you than it is about me, because I am merely a reflection of you and your life and the way that you choose to live it. Earlier this week, I had decided that I was going to recommit myself to making a video every day. Now, I don't know about you exactly, but for myself, any time in the past that I have set the intention to make some kind of a commitment for myself, it often brings up a lot of feelings of potential failures. Like worrying and just being hesitant to fully commit because I don't want to prove myself wrong in my ability to actually commit. However, I wanted to identify 3 important reasons why commitment is such an uplifting thing that we can do for ourselves. And while, yes, there is always that potential for failure, there's always the option to pick ourselves back up and start again, try again, and just keep doing what feels aligned for us. Keep doing what is going to make us feel great. Sometimes we commit to things that just don't make sense, and the fork or the road veers us in a different direction, and that is okay sometimes. Sometimes we make commitments and we haven't fully set a plan or a list of goals in place to help us stick to those commitments. And that in and of itself is a learning process on its own. But there is always value to be found in either sticking to the commitment or not sticking to the commitment. And every step of this process has different areas of learning that we can take away from the success or failure, however you choose to label it. So here are three reasons why it is important for us to make commitments to ourselves. Number 1, the most obvious, is that it is a way for us to develop ourselves, to attend to our personal growth. Without having some kind of challenge, some kind of way to stretch ourselves, we don't really feel completely fulfilled in life. So much of our joy comes from accomplishing goals, doing what we set out to do. And in many ways, unless we commit to it, then we won't actually see that growth. We won't see our full potential at its best, at its highest. It is challenging to commit to ourselves. Our interests will ebb and flow. Maybe we're feeling really excited and energetic when we first say, yes, I'm gonna start this diet, or I'm gonna join this team, or I'm gonna go traveling for a year. When we set those goals initially, there's usually certain hormones that are flowing, and throughout the process, we come up against these different walls. We hit these energetic blocks that make us feel less enthused and less inspired and less capable than we perhaps did at the very beginning. But that personal growth is so important for us to just feel amazing, to feel good and capable in life. So I do encourage you, if you are thinking of committing to something or challenging yourself in some way, to just stick to it. And maybe you'll fall off the wagon or, not stick fully to your commitments. But that's okay. It takes 60 days to build a habit for yourself. So just give yourself a little bit of leeway and recognize that sometimes it might be a little bumpy at the beginning of the road, but that doesn't mean that you've failed. The second reason to make commitments for yourself is that you'll just feel better about yourself. Setting a commitment is a little bit like climbing a mountain. As I mentioned, that there is going to be these walls, these blocks, these different obstacles that will show up in your path. But every time you overcome each one of those obstacles, you will feel better about yourself. You will realize how strong and how capable you actually are. You will develop new brain pathways about yourself as you prove to yourself, like, oh shit, I actually can do that. That wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. I'm actually more capable than I thought I was. And you begin to build this new awareness, this new belief in yourself as you just build a new persona, build a new idea, a new identity of who you actually are. You'll feel much more accomplished, much more capable in life. Which then brings us to my third point, that the mindset that you cultivate by committing to yourself is transferable. It will then begin to bleed into and apply to other areas of your life as well. So not only have you now proven to yourself that I actually can save up for a car, I can stick to this diet, I can build an exercise program for myself and lose the weight that I have been trying to, but then you will see yourself as someone who is capable of setting goals, capable of sticking to your commitments, so then you'll be more willing to make them in other areas of your life. You'll be more willing to see that success in other areas of your life, and you will challenge yourself more so that you see that success in other areas of your life. I remember reading a book by Gretchen Rubin, and it was talking about, well, among other things, she had mentioned the keystone habits. And she was saying that when we develop these habits, that they tend to transfer over into other areas of our lives. So among which there was like exercising and eating healthy. And I think getting to sleep on time, just creating that structure in our life and doing those certain things, but that when we focus our energy and attention in those set areas, that they then tend to apply to the other areas. And so I recognize for myself especially, and I'm sure you can relate in some way, that when you do fully commit to yourself, you feel better. And then you apply yourself in other areas too. You put yourself out in the world in ways that you maybe wouldn't have done prior. It takes time to build confidence, to build a firm belief in ourselves, to see ourselves in the best possible light that we really want. And it's okay that it takes time. It's okay that we sometimes fumble. It's okay that it doesn't always turn out perfectly the first time, because that failure is also where we receive so much growth, so many lessons. And then we come back stronger. We come back more fierce and more determined to actually achieve our goals. So don't let that failure hold you back. Don't let those stories keep you down. Just recommit, because you can do it and you are worth it. And that is my rant for today. Thank you, beautiful humans, for tuning in, smiling and being the shiny self that you are. I hope you have a wonderful weekend.